Hey there, the Houston housing market just hit a milestone. So if you're thinking about buying or selling this spring, you're going to want to pay attention. I'm Gabrielle Strout with Compass Real Estate. I specialize in the Energy Corridor, Memorial, Cypress, and surrounding Houston communities. Every month, I break down the real numbers so that you can make smart decisions about one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. Here is what March 2026 data is telling us. Houston just recorded its first year-over-year sales increase in 2026. Single-family homes rose 3.7%. That's 7,644 total homes sold in March alone. Total property sales were 3.6%, and that's with over 9,000 transactions, and that's more than $3.6 billion of total volume. And here's the number that is super important. Houston's 12-month sales are now up 2% compared to 2019, which is our last normal year pre-pandemic. Nationally, the U.S. market is still down 24% from that same benchmark. Houston isn't just recovering, but we're leading, and that is super noteworthy. Now let's talk prices, because this is a story worth understanding. You can see here from the HAR data that the average sales price just went down about 1.2% to $420,510. And the median sales price just went down 1.5% to just at $330,000. It might seem concerning at first, but actually affordability is really good. So the typical monthly payment, which is principal and interest on a median priced home, assuming you put 20% down, was about $106 less than it was last year. So that's real money, and affordability has improved the past 17 out of the last 20 months. Inventory is up. We now have 34,898 active single-family homes on the market. That's an 8.7% increase, which puts us at 4.7 months of supply, which is still technically a seller's market. Nationally, that number is at 3.8 months. So Houston has a little bit more breathing room for buyers. Homes are sitting a little bit longer too. You can see here the days on market went from 62 to 67 days year over year. But that's actually healthy. It means that buyers have more time to make thoughtful decisions instead of panicking into a bidding war, and that depends on the property. But here's what the data doesn't show yet. Showings on my listings are really picking up, including properties that have been sitting on the market for some time. A lot of those sellers have really low carrying costs, so they're not desperate. They're patient, and patient sellers aren't accepting low offers. The market is really balanced right now, and that is a perfect word for what we're seeing. Let's break down the different price segments because it's not the same across the board. Entry-level homes under $100,000 are up 28.4%. The 150 to 250 range was up 11.6%, and those are really strong numbers. The luxury segment, which is anything over $1 million, saw a 4.5% dip in sales, which is worth watching. On the condo and townhome side, sales were up 1.8%, but inventory is 8.2 months of supply. So if you're in that space, pricing really matters right now. Across the board, what we're seeing is well-priced and well-prepared homes are still seeing multiple offers. That part of the market hasn't changed. But what I am seeing is that buyers are coming in with really low offers because they're reading the national headlines, and those are not getting accepted. Houston is not the national market. Treating it like one is costing buyers the properties. I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention the rates. Global uncertainty, including the ongoing conflict in Iran, is creating a lot of volatility. Rates have nudged up just slightly as inflation concerns grow, and HAR's chief economist Ted Jones is watching this closely, and so am I. Rates are a moving target. What I tell all of my buyers right now is affordability is better than it was a year ago. And there's something else that I'm seeing on the ground. There's a big confidence gap right now. Buyers feel like they have all the leverage, but on the right home, you're still competing. So if you're walking in unprepared and underpriced on your offer, it's the best way to get beat out. You need to know your market, you need to know your property, and you need to work with someone who's going to guide you in the right direction. The bottom line, Houston's market is steady. Buyers have options, and sellers that are pricing right are moving their properties. If you're thinking about making a move, whether it's buying or selling, reach out. I'd love to sit down with you and talk about your specific situation. And if this was at all helpful, please subscribe. I do this every single month. All right, I'll see you next month.